Margaret Scott, Tasmania's own, call her now on your mobile phone. That ineradicably irascible old man of letters, Bernard Shaw, observed that the true artist will let his wife starve, his children go barefoot, his mother drudge for his living at 70, sooner than work at anything but his art. And so to Bob Ellis, a famous Australian even by his own admission. Bob is a curiously and unjustifiably happy man who divides his time between acting, broadcasting, film directing, screenwriting, songwriting, speechwriting, writing for money, and a rigorous round of dining out. Shambolic and shambling, he scrawled the most evocative movie title in our history, Warm Nights on a Slow-Moving Train. It's also the story of his life. The third speaker for the negative, Bob Ellis.
To recap, the reasons why Australia was and is and remains an art-free zone, although, as Bruce Petty in his fine film Australian History said, art was attempted, but to no avail, are many and sorry to tell. The skies were too blue, the sun too bright, the seasons undetectable. No autumn colours graced the dying of the year, nor snow on tombstones its quietus. And the surf was too seductive. Hours one might have spent contemplating snowflakes, or painting nudes in oil-heated rooms, or composing cello concertos after the death by frostbite of the twins. Were spent instead in cracking waves or unfurling spinnakers or rooting in sandhills on the warm summer nights and consuming cold ones therein after at the Newport Arms. The weather, in short, was not propitious for art, and neither was the history. Not a heady conquest by invading Norman archers in pitched battle under Halley's comet, by contesting kings in knightly armour, plus 1,000 following years of heroic insurrection by Robin Hood and Robert the Bruce and Bonnie Prince Charlie and Billy Connolly. It was instead a dull arrival of dregs and has-beens at Circular Quay. Whores and cut-purses and sheep thieves and far-flung prison officials, and incompetent Irish revolutionaries of the usual kind. Bigamy flourished, and wife-beating, which persists, I am told, in primitive Western Australia to this very day. And floggings and rum and brown envelopes and rum and wood chipping and sheep shearing and sodomite mateship on the Western Plains, and the importation of ill-tempered camels for purposes unknown. Scarcely the stuff of literature or of art. There was a sheep-led strike in 1891. And some irregular fast bowling in a cricket match in 1932. And there was the odd northbound explorer who died cursing heaven of starvation in territory where Aborigines ate well. Yet art was attempted, though to no avail. The odd painting of a ghost gum peeling, or a bushranger with a tin hat but no head. There was the odd popular ballad published in the Bulletin about the need in the human male to shear one more sheep before dying, or to perish by the roadside in the blazing forenoon howling for his mate. And the odd hit song, Two, I suppose, in as many centuries. One about a sheep thief who suicides in a swamp. One about a dog that defecates in a lunchbox outside a country town. And a third, I suppose, quite touching really, about a soldier returning to a Murrumbidgee village believing all will be the same. One might weep, O Jerusalem, Jerusalem, for what was not done. Were one not now able to weep for what was, what came thereafter 1,000 curses to pass, by which I mean not art, but art's bureaucracy, and boards discussing art's policy instead of putting it on, and travelling endlessly overseas to discover where it was hiding, and bringing it back and putting it on in festivals amid compulsory rejoicing. Long, grave evenings of Icelandic thumb dancing. Or men from Chad in whiteface moving very slowly. Formidable imports of reverent boredom after which one could go to bed justified under heaven and sleep for days. Australians, meanwhile, went on fun runs from city to surf to heart attack to crematorium on Tuesday. In their hundreds of thousands, out in the weather, to football and cricket and festivals of the wind, and opera only when it was in the park. Enjoying the outdoors for which they had migrated from lands of pensive indoor epiphany. They knew what they were here for. John Bell railed and Paul Mercurio footled at 3 inches an hour, and the Belvoir huffed and puffed, and the war theatre whinnied its disdain of ordinary life. But Bart Simpson won the day. For this, alas, is the country we have. A flogging jail, its heritage. A suicide, its anthem. A variable mortgage, its ultimate human achievement. And Brian Henderson, its perpetual guide into the darkness. And radio quiz shows on the Drongo principle at 7 p.m. on ABC. What is Sir Donald Bradman's Christian name? Can you give me a clue? And Elle Macpherson, Bollocky and Kylie warbling tears on my pillow, and David Hill by satellite beaming lawn bowls to red china. World without end and noise and confusion and banality, amen. Art has been attempted, but to no avail. And when the archaeologists millennia hence turn over the dust-blown emblems of our era in twilight puzzlement as the forests grow back and the 10-foot wombats thump in the gloom. What will they find, O Ozymandias, in the advancing vegetation of our artistic achievement? A giant pineapple tilted, a cracked CD of Cootamundra wattle, a lunig cartoon fragmenting, a scratched celluloid minute or so of the year my voice broke, a Mo McCackey one-liner on 78 Regal Zonophone. Strike me lucky, I've just done a Zack in cold blood. And the rest is silence. Art was attempted, but to no avail. And who among this happy, sunburned nation cares?